It's 12 o'clock noon on Wednesday, which means it's time for Rip It Live on Facebook, where we talk about all things softball, including college recruiting, high school happenings, and the latest in Rip It equipment and paraphernalia, so that we can educate you, the softball community, to make the best decisions possible. And you can see why more and more parents, coaches, and players are turning to the Rip It brand for their softball needs. I'm your host, Wes Pollock, and we have another great show today. Joining us today on the show will be Savannah Barnett, a senior from Lake Region High School, and Janae Brown, a junior from Apopka High School. Both Savannah and Janae will be a big part of their high school teams who have punched a ticket to Dodgertown and Vero Beach by qualifying for the Final Four with an opportunity to go to the high school state championship game, with a chance to bring home a state championship title to their respective schools. Savannah and Janae are here to share their thoughts and give us some insight on what has been a very successful high school season in both 7A Lake Region and 9A Apopka High School. We will talk about their road to the Final Four in Dodgertown and what it took to get there and what it'll take to even move closer to a state championship victory. The final steps are always the toughest to take, but Savannah and Janae and their high school teammates appear to be determined not to let anything or anyone stand in their way in capturing the elusive crown known as the high school state championship. Oh, and by the way, did I mention that both Savannah and Janae play for my Wildfire Pollock 18U version 7.0 travel team? Yes, in fact, I have coached them, and I know the fire and passion they have to win. So I guess that was a little bit of a plug, but it's okay. The road to the Final Four with a trip to the high school state championship today on Rip It Live on Facebook. But before we get to Savannah and Janae, we have our product giveaway announcements. So this week's winner of a $50 Rip It gift certificate is Lisa Matta. Lisa Matta, congratulations on winning the $50 Rip It gift certificate. You can use that at ripit.com. This week's product giveaway is another Rip It $50 gift certificate that can be used again at ripit.com and will be announced on next week's show. And here's how you win. Share a video, tag a parent, tag a coach. Please make sure it's public. We have to be able to see it in order for you to win. Okay? Our winner will be announced again on next week's show, but again, please tag a parent, coach, share this video of the show to give yourself the best chance to win a $50 Rip It gift certificate announced on next week's show. Okay, so let's get back to our guests. Welcome, Savannah and Janae, to our show. Okay, so both of you, coming into the high school season, what was the expectation level placed on the team by the coaching staff, each of your schools? Savannah, you can start.
Last year we really didn't make it through districts, so this year we really wanted to get revenge on the team we lost to, and we did in the championship. So we had to at least get through districts, and the next one was a semifinal game of regionals.
Okay, and so but your coaches believe that your teams
Had the ability to
to
do
go
that,
all
yes,
to,
sir.
to get it done. How about you, Janae, and the Popka?
I believe that we didn't really know because we had lost 8 or 9 of our seniors last year. So I think coming in, we weren't really sure what we had and if we had the ability to make it. But I think everyone fought hard and we all jumped together and got through it.
Sometimes when you may have less skill or talent than you think you have, you come together and closer,
Yeah.
and you sometimes get farther than when you have an abundance of talent
Yeah.
and perhaps don't come together as close. I'm not saying that was the case, but sometimes underdogs find a way
Yeah.
by bringing closer to get it done. Did you have any personal expectations placed on yourself by the coaches? Like, in other words, did the coaches come to you guys and say, "Look, so now you're, one of our major pitchers here. We're leaning on you. Janae, big hitter. We need you in their lineup performing." Did you get some personal expectations from the coaches?
Yeah, I really had to step my game up. Last year, it really wasn't that good. And we're really young, so me as a pitcher and me as one of the seniors, I had to bring my leadership level up to lead the team.
Okay. And Janae?
Yeah, I believe being an upperclassman and having only 2 or 3 of the girls from varsity last year, we had to step it up and show leadership to the underclassmen. And yeah.
Okay. Did the players have expectations? Aside from the coaches, within your own team, your players, did they have expectations how far they think they can go with each of your teams?
I don't really think they were too focused on it. I don't know, really.
No, so they just sort of take it as it comes, and hopefully
Yeah.
you guys will be able to do well. You guys?
I think that since we had a lot of freshmen, they knew that they had to fill some big shoes from last year, so they stepped their game up and showed everyone what they had and
Right.
underdogs. So yeah.
How did your team start out the season? Strong?
We started off strong. We had a couple slumps. We had a couple games we got discouraged, but we moved on.
You snapped out of it, but you
Yeah.
got off to a good start, both you guys, both your schools?
Yeah, we came up to a good start. We kind of stayed very strong throughout the whole season. I think we only had one loss, and it was a 3-2 game. So we fought our hardest. And
So you felt good.
yeah.
When did you realize during the course of the season that maybe you have something special here? Something that's not happened before, that, a turning point, so to speak?
I feel like when we played Oakleaf in the Kissimmee Classic, and we played up to their level because they're a really talked about team.
Sure.
I feel like we really stepped up, and I feel like we only lost by 1 run. And if we had the little mental errors and we fixed them, it was really eye opener. We didn't think we were gonna stick with them.
And the Kissimmee Classic was a high school tournament that's held
Yes.
during the course of the season, and Oakleaf is one of the predominantly favorites every season,
Yes.
right? Okay.
I think that after a few of the games, once all the girls kind of gelled together and really became a bonding team, we knew that we were strong and that we had a chance to get there as long as we worked hard and put forth the effort.
Okay. What did the other high school teams in your district look like? Better, worse, same as in the previously? Did that help the situation for you guys?
They were really the same, like pretty much the same as last year. They lost a couple seniors, but they filled them in pretty solid.
Yeah, so pretty much everyone was much the same going in this year as they've been in the previous years. Now, about in your district?
Yeah, we have a pretty tough district, so it was a good diversity of good teams and bad teams, and we've held our ground. So yeah, it was a good competition throughout the.
So you made your team benefit from being stable somewhat,
Yeah.
whereas other teams maybe took a little small step forward, some took steps back, which I guess happens in
Yeah.
high school, just like in college. You see conferences in college get weaker and stronger, depending on the recruiting year, depending on who graduates, who comes in. I guess high school would be the same thing, depending on who graduates
Yeah.
and how many they lose versus how many come in. Does the talent stay the same, get better, or get worse? Did other team, what surprises did you encounter within your own team during the course of the season, or other teams that you played against? Did you suspect that other teams would be a certain way, and then when you played them, either not, again, not what you thought? And on your own team, did people step up, surprise who you didn't think, you including yourselves, and do things that you hadn't previously done?
One that really surprised me was we have a sophomore that came in. Her name's Lauren. She actually, her bat's on fire. Like, she's carrying us in our stats.
Okay.
She's got the highest batting average. She's really keeping solid for us.
Okay, nice job, Laura. Right?
I think that most of our players being underclassmen, that we really were the underdogs, so we stepped it up, and I think it kind of surprised and shook everyone. And yeah.
They thought, so they might have thought Popco wouldn't be where they were because you had maybe rookies or underclassmen, big graduating year last year. So you guys surprised people by stepping up.
Yeah.
You referred to this earlier, Savannah. Any bumps in the road where your team hit, where you guys started doubting yourselves, slumping, and thinking, oh, maybe this may not happen?
Yeah, there was a couple games we lost, but I mean, they were pretty good teams like Jenkins and Bartow. But I mean, we kept up with them, and then we just fell apart in the last of the game. But we still worked through it.
Okay, what's your name?
We've only lost one game, and it was a 3-2 game, so it was pretty close. So I don't know if we really had any bumpy roads. We kind of stayed strong throughout the whole.
Right, I don't think you did. If you lost
Yeah,
one game, does
yes.
not, would not concern me. I wouldn't consider that a slump. So
Yeah.
maybe an inning, maybe 2 innings, but if you lost one game, I guess that would, you avoided the slump. How about personally, each of you? Did you guys see any bumps in the road on a personal level that you hit and had to overcome and battle out of, and convince yourself that you can bounce back?
I was in a batting slump. Yeah, it was pretty tough. I won a couple games without hitting. Had a couple strikeouts, but we worked through it. I went to batting, kept hitting, doing
Right.
key work,
Just kept working.
working hard.
Right. I mean, the game's a game of failure.
Mhm.
You succeed 3 out of 10 times, you're in the Hall of Fame, right? in baseball, and softball's a little bit different, maybe a little bit higher, but in terms of 4 to 10 maybe, but it's still a game of failure, so you gotta stay upbeat, even if you go over 10, over 8, because around the corner is gonna be a 3 for 4, or a 2 for 5, right? That's just the way the game works. How about you, Janae?
I also went through a batting slump for a while, but I went to my batting coach, Junior Parra, and I worked hard and practiced every day and tried to get out of it. And yeah.
Okay, so the common denominator for Ribbit audience is, if you go through any kind of slump, don't get down on yourself, just go back and battle and work that much harder.
Yep.
Maybe you take 50 swings off a tee, make it 100. Just keep battling, knowing that there are better days ahead. How about you, on a positive note, how did you guys perform personally that helped your team?
Me as a pitcher, my attitude has really improved, leading the team pretty much, and just staying motivated, coming in when something happens, and picking up my teammates.
What do you attribute that to?
Haley really helped me, my pitching coach. She really helped me work on that, and over the past year and a half, it's really improved.
Okay, good. That's Haley Wiseman?
Yes.
Okay, another plug. Janae, how about yourself?
I think my best tribute to the team would be hitting. When I'm on my game, I'm good, and I can help tribute to the team as getting some runs in. So.
That's how you picked the name Downtown Janae Brown?
Yeah.
Right, those with the home runs, which we saw, I think, about 3 or 4 in the tournament last year in Diamond 9. Yeah, when she gets on fire, and Savannah in the circle, when Savannah's on fire, look out, you know? Look out if you're a hitter. Now, let's talk about the end of the season. Did you finish where you thought you would finish in the standings at the conclusion of the season? So when it was all done, said and done, and you were done the regular season, were you guys where you thought you'd be at, better?
Actually better.
Yeah.
Since we're such a young team, I thought we weren't gonna make it through regionals, but we pulled through.
Yeah. How
We
about
were
you,
working
Janae?
hard.
Same. We pushed through and we got there, and I don't think many people thought we would make it, but we did, and hard work paid off.
How did your district playoffs go? How many did you have to play and win to move on? Were you a favorite, an underdog in districts?
We were an underdog because last year we lost the first round,
Mhm.
and this year we played South Lake first, and we won, and then the championship we played Lake Gibson, which we lost to last year, and we got revenge on them, and we
Okay.
came through.
Districts, now how about you, Lapopka, in your district? Rob?
Same. We were the underdogs, but we stepped up to the plate. We played West Orange for districts, and then we played DP for regionals. So we fought through and got there.
In districts with West Orange, historically, they've been obviously a
Yeah,
heavy
they
favorite.
have
They've
been.
won 2 state championships, been to the final state championship in the 3rd year in a row. Going back, even my daughter played there, they were always
Yes,
district
they were
winners,
solid.
typically went to the Final Four, I think, once. So historically, they've had a major run,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's probably
been
made it
biggest
tough for Apopka,
competitive.
Yeah.
So,
to
biggest
advance.
competition.
Yeah, but this year was your year that you
Yes.
this year took them out and to advance in districts.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into regionals then. Did the favorite or underdog change when you got to regional? And how many did you have to win there?
We had to win 3, and the first game, it was, and then Chamberlain, we kept pretty solid with them. They weren't as good as everyone expected them to be, so.
Right.
And everyone was surprised we won. They thought that was going to be our hardest. And then Vieira, they were a really good team, really solid, tough. We only beat them by 1 point, but it was a win. It was pretty solid.
Okay, how about you, Janae?
We played DP in Spruce Creek. We kind of gave both of them a run for their money. We put the beating on them.
Yeah, don't be bashful.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you had 2 convincing wins. It was like 7-0 and 9-1 or something?
Yeah, it
like
was
that?
9-0 for DP, and I
9?
think
Okay.
Spruce Creek was 9-1. Or we had
A lot to a little.
Yeah, a lot to a little.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause, DP had a good season. I mean,
Yeah.
so that was a tough opponent. So Spruce Creek, and so winning in that fashion really shows the type of team you had. And I know Vieira always has a strong team, historically, and 1-0, like you said, it's better to have the 1 than the nothing, so
Yeah.
you'll take that all day long. Now, in regionals, though, you don't typically play teams that you play a lot, whereas in districts, you play teams,
Yeah.
you play more often, so is that?
Districts, we played them 2 times each, one at our home field, one at their field.
Right.
And then regionals, we've never played them.
So these games, were they surprise wins then, do you think, in the softball community, high school, when you guys end up winning the regionals, both of you?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh, that's gonna be a tough game, and then we pulled out with a win.
Dan, you as well?
Yeah, us being the underdogs, but we did play them in regular season and we did beat them. So I think we were hoping for the same results and we got them. So
I think that underdog title that you had probably evaporated after
yeah, it did.
25-1 or whatever you were, right? I think going into the season underdogs, but I think it became
Yeah.
clear that you were no
Right.
longer gonna be underdogs
Mhm.
once the season ended. What's the farthest historically that each of your schools have gotten in the high school playoffs?
We won a state championship in, I believe, 1998 and 2000. And we've been back to the Final Four for like, I think this is our 5th time, 6th time.
6 times. So you've had some history of success in the Lake region,
Yes, sir.
right? But you haven't won a title in a while.
No, it's been a while.
I don't believe we've won state champions, but I think that 2014 was the last time we got to the Final Four.
It's 2014, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now that you're on the doorstep of the Final Four, state championship, how are you feeling?
I'm kind of nervous, but everything's gonna be the same, nothing different. I'm just gonna keep the same mindset, stay pretty solid through the whole game.
Dan, Janae?
I'm blessed and grateful for this opportunity. I'm gonna stay focused and hopefully bring it home.
Bringing home for a Popka, huh?
Yeah.
What's the mood of the team, would you say?
They're all excited. It's a first time experience for everybody. They're really hyped and wanting to win. Their want-to's there.
Yeah. How did the preparational practices, mental intensity change from the regular season to the playoff season, and as each time you advanced in a round of playoffs? Like, the practices, you know, your practices at all, your mental focus intensified, and the team sort of
I feel like the girls took it a lot more serious and they got more hungry for it. They're all motivated to bring that ring home.
Yeah. I mean, you can see it, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
their determination's there.
Savannah?
Same. I believe that, we got hungry and everyone's ready to win and excited and focused and
Yeah, everyone's just kind of ramped up. huh?
yeah. Right.
What does it mean to each of you to play in Dodgertown, Vero Beach? You know, great facilities, playing in front of probably a larger audience than normal, due to the excitement of being in the state championship. What does that mean to each of you guys?
I feel like it's important, honestly, as to me and my team, because we were really looked over, and now we're proving everybody wrong.
Yeah.
So now they're ready to go.
How about you, Janae?
Yeah, I believe it's an amazing opportunity and I'm very grateful for it and excited and it's a once in a lifetime thing, so I'm gonna take hold of it.
Okay, Savannah's a senior, must take on special meeting, right? You can potentially cap off a great high school career with the state championship. And enduring challenges like you've said you've had over the years. How was this moment? I mean, we sort of talked about it a little bit, like, is it really impacting you personally?
Yes, it's honestly making me want to prove who I am, because I was really just, oh, who's Savannah? But now we're proving it.
Right.
And my defense is really backing me up.
Okay, so there's a chance of redemption to a
Yes.
degree. Are you both taking on leadership roles, being upperclassmen on your teams? I imagine the freshmen and the sophomores might be a little nervous going into this weekend. So how are you guys stepping up as leaders on your team, being
I just
junior
tell
and
them
senior?
to play relaxed. It's the same game, just different opponents. Keep the same mindset and keep going.
And Janae?
Yeah, help them as far as staying positive and focusing and have that drive.
Yeah. There's a great scene in the movie Hoosiers, I don't know if you've seen that, or I'm dating myself here. The basketball movie where that small basketball high school team goes all the way and wins their state championship and beats everyone who's favored over them. But when they got to the big arena where the state championship was, the coach would come out and measure the floor to the basket, the distance from the basket, everything was the same as in their own gym, just to stop them from freaking out about being on the big stage. I think that's what it has to do. The ball's still the same size, the pitching circle is the same distance to the home plate, the bases are the same distance, the fences are pretty much the same distance. Everything's the same in a bigger stage, but the game is still, the game is still the same. So, you know, you try and treat it the same way. How are the coaches handling each of your readiness, their team's readiness to play on the big stage?
I feel like he's ready. He's getting everything like us as far as playing. Our practices are more intense. He's getting us ready for the real deal.
Yeah, I feel as if everything's a lot more intense. He's pushing us harder, making sure we get there, work hard for what we hope to earn.
Okay. Have any of you played in the game of this magnitude during your high school or travel ball career? I mean, in travel ball, I guess the closest thing might be to play on in a national championship tournament, but is that similar, different, or is this even bigger?
My sophomore year, we went for the Final Four and we lost the semifinal game.
Okay.
And I mean, it feels kind of the same, but I just have more hunger for it this year.
I think maybe in travel ball, there's kind of a similarity as far as fighting to get that top elimination, but I don't think I've ever been this far as high school, so it's definitely
Unique.
yeah.
As possibly winning a state championship, been a long time goal and dream of yours? And if so, when did that start happening? Was it time you entered high school, middle school, 7 years old?
My sophomore year, well, my freshman year I played on JV, so I didn't know anything about a state championship but my sophomore year when I experienced it, it made me want to come back and win it all because we didn't really have the opportunity to. So.
Yeah, as far as being a freshman, I didn't really know what it was about. But as time grew, I started to learn and understand that I wanted it, and it was hunger for me and the rest of the girls.
Now, after you both win your state championships, glass half full. What are your plans after that?
Keep grinding for college.
Yeah,
Keep grinding for my spot.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to further my friends off to college, so hopefully I'll be doing travel and trying to good college for me.
I feel like this would be a good reference point. Use when we get to college, we apply pressure, and pressure. To succeed, use this, you know, to compete at a college level. I feel that this is behind this whole keep it on. Do that. As a junior, your high school ball. Do you think this, I guess this playoff will help you more leadership in life and on the field, and off the field?
Yes, of course. I feel that me being an upperclassman really work hard and put forth the effort to show the underclassmen what it's about. And as far as off the field, it's really helped me to.
This is life handling, the pressures and the environment, right? I'm sure that would help you out. I mean, discipline too.
Yeah.
But it's a great experience that you can refer to down the road, right? About, you know, especially when it ends up being successful.
Yeah, hopefully in college,
You
as
know.
I was studying, I could step it up one
Okay.
day.
How much will each of you miss this edition of your high school teams?
I don't really know. Like,
Won't hit you maybe until after it's over?
yeah, it won't hit me until later, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna cherish it while it's here.
Good attitude, yeah.
What was the question?
Yeah, no, I said, how much will you miss the addition of this edition of your high school team?
Yeah, I think we're only losing one senior, so I think that we will definitely miss her, but I think we still have a good, decent team for next year.
For next year? What will be your greatest memories of your high school career that you will take away? More for you because it's ending after this championship. Junior has another year. but-
Honestly, every pitch, every second of the game, I'm gonna cherish it. The team bonding, the bonding in the locker room for the game, the bus rides, the conversations we have, the motivation speech
Right.
from coaches, and
Okay, Janae?
Knowing that I still have the year, I still cherish it because time's ticking and it's almost there, and gotta cherish every second of it.
Okay. Any predictions for the next couple of days you want to make?
We're bringing home the ring. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, hopefully we bring it home and chase it.
You're going to chase it hard, right?
Yeah.
Chasing
Not
it.
be denied. Okay, that's okay. Got to go with confidence. So has the mayor offered you a key to the city if you win? Or a ticker tape parade?
No.
Or floats with
No.
your names on it and faces?
Working on it.
So there won't be like a there won't be a big parade going down a Popka Avenue? Or Lake Region Road? No, so no one's offered you that, okay. All right, well, girls, I want to wish you luck. I'm going to sort of conclude with our interview, which is awesome, good input, good insight. I want to thank Savannah Barnett and Janae Brown for joining us today on our Rip It Live on Facebook show. We certainly appreciate their insights and commentary, as well as their views and observations about each of the roads to the Final Four state championships coming up later this week in Vero Beach. We want to wish them both the best of luck, and we hope their respective schools, Lake Region High School and Popka High School, have a successful march to a high school state championship. I know in your case, you might run up against a fellow Wildfire teammate,
Yes, Lena.
Lena Wallace at Fort
Yes.
Myers, who's also playing in the Final Four. So we got 3
Yes.
kids and players on our team who are in the Final Four, which is pretty cool for me as a coach to see that. But, you know what I mean? It sounds like you're pretty determined.
Yes,
So,
sir.
I'm sure it won't be easy. And when you get down to the Final Four, that's the best of the best, so every game should be a battle, and both these players will be further battle tested as they try and achieve the dream they had when they entered high school, the high school softball playing arena. As their Wildfire coach in travel ball, I have every confidence that both will have a significant role to play if their teams are to be successful capturing a state championship. They both have been nothing but winners when it comes to our Wildfire travel team, and I know they are both winners for their respective high school softball teams, and one of the biggest reasons they are both here today, knocking on the door of the Final Four with hopes of bringing a state title back to their respective schools. So good luck, girls.
Thank you.
Okay. And now it's time for one of our favorite and most popular segments, the Rip It High School Heroes of the Week. It was another big week in high school softball as the regional rounds came to an end, and we are down to the Final Four state championship round in Dodgertown, Vero Beach. The Rockledge Raiders doubled up the American Heritage Patriots 4-2. Kyla Berry went 10 innings to lead Rockledge to their big win. Kyla also struck out 10 Patriot batters in the game. School called Lake Region. You guys heard of it?
It's my team.
Yeah. Had an edge of your seat thrilling win over Vieira, 1-0, as we discussed. Savannah Barnett, whoever that is, wait, she's here, did what she does best in coming up big in big games for Lake Region. Savannah went the distance in the pitching circle, going 7 innings and striking out 13 Vieira batters en route to the shutout victory. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Popka. And again, you heard that school, Janae? With a convincing 9-1 win over Spruce Creek. Janae Brown. Heard of her, Janae? She went 1 for 3 with a home run, 2 RBIs, and 3 runs scored for Popka. That's a pretty good night. Nice job. Jacina Mora went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, and Naya Vogel, who has been dominant in the pitching circle, chipped in on the offense, going 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Hernando edged Santa Fe in another tight, well-fought game, 1-0. Madison Lamp was the big offensive performer. She went 2 for 3 with a home run double, scored the game's only run. Ali Schenefeld got it done in the pitching circle, throwing 7 innings, only giving up 4 hits and striking out 5 while earning the shutout victory. Up north, Emily Matuszewski had another big week up in New York, going 2-0 in the pitching circle, including a 1-0 shutout victory over Maple Hill, as well as beating Ravenna 6-3, where she struck out 9 batters and went 2 for 2 at the plate with 3 RBIs. And finally, we talked about the end of the softball career for Savannah in terms of high school. I, as a parent and a coach, had to, with an emotional moment as I watched my daughter, Sydney, compete in her final college softball game of her career at the NCAA Evanston Regionals this past weekend. Her team, the Detroit Mercy Titans, were a huge underdog going into the regionals after an unexpected conference win over UIC. They lost to the number 16 seed in the country, an eventual regional winner, Northwestern, in a lopsided contest. However, the underdog Titans showed great character and battled back and gave Southern Illinois everything they could handle before dropping a close 2-1 game on a walk-off in the bottom of the 7th inning. Sydney, who was in her senior year at Detroit Mercy after a 4-year Division I college career, went out in style. She went 2 for 5 in regional play as she led her team in stolen bases and was also second in her conference in that category during the season. And yes, it may be one of the only times in her softball career where I've actually promoted her in her performance as their coach. But, after a 4-year college career and 8 years in Wildfire, she earned the right to have her dad and coach say, Sydney, you made your family proud. Okay? And those are your Rip It High School College and Heroes of the Week. All right, Rip It audience. Rip It has a warehouse sale going on May 31st, 4 to 8. Bring your teams, tell your friends, RSVP to FB Invite. The link will be provided with information and to RSVP for the event in the comments section below in this episode. Okay, so remember, big sale going on at Rip It, 4 to 8 on May 31st. Don't miss it. A lot of great items at discounted prices. You're going to want to be here, so make sure you do a RSVP to the Facebook invite. Our last episode of the season for the Rip It Fastpitch Live Show will be May 29th. We hope you'll in tune for some final exciting giveaways and announcements and what to expect in the fastest growing player-preferred softball brand, Rip It. We're also excited to announce that the NPF kickoff game is next Tuesday, May 28th in Daytona Beach. That's the National Pro Softball League opening day in Daytona Beach on May 28th, and we're excited to be part of that and announce that. Remember, on this episode, remember to tag a parent or coach, share the video for a chance to win a $50 gift certificate, and be able to use it on ripit.com. We'll be announcing the winner on next week's show, May 29th at 12 p.m. Remember to make that tag and share public so we can see it. That's how you win. All right, and that's all our show for today. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at noon on Rip It Live on Facebook.